you can take it to the bank. CEMTV, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
This is CEMTV main news on the hour. Remember, truth first, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered. I am Mibaka Yenegi with the news. On the headlines, including other stories, are CEMTV team reports on how high cost of housing takes a toll on residents across many communities in Rivers State. Set up 6 probe into alleged 6.3 billion naira constituency project fund diversion. Europe braces for dangerous heat wave as millions face extreme temperatures. These and other stories will be brought to you in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
Worried about the state of your world? Need better and broader ideas? Stay tuned to CEMTV 24/7. Always thinking possibilities. CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
We begin the news from Rivers State with a report that the ease in tension between the United States and Iran has caused global crude oil prices to decline, prompting modest reduction in petrol prices in several countries across the world. At several filling stations visited by CEMTV reporters in Rivers State, petrol was selling for approximately 100 to 200 naira less than prices recorded in previous weeks.
The package of this might work. The fuel is the price of the fuel. Since the price of the fuel high, the price will never drop. They are still selling almost 3 something, and it is affecting us. We will be driver. And how the thing is now, it they make we. When we add our own price and give to customer then they cannot afford it. And we are buying the high price, but customer cannot afford it. So it is affecting us. Because of the price of fuel is very, very expensive. Imagine 1,260 for 1 liter. Before we used to buy that, we used to use that amount to buy like 4 or 5 liters. But now you can imagine me buying 20k fuel and it's not even enough for my daily movements, you understand? So it's affecting the livelihood, it's affecting businesses, it's affecting a lot of things. And I just hope this coming election, things will get better or things will change. But seriously, right now, we are in crisis. But in fact, maybe we don't know yet, but we are really, really, really in crisis. Business are going down. You can't even pay salary anymore because you have to fund the business for you to, you know. So when you calculate how much you're putting into the business, then how much you're making. How do you want to pay staff?
While motorists welcome the reduction, many say it falls far short of providing meaningful economic relief. For commercial drivers, tricycle operators and small business owners, fuel has become one of their largest daily expenses, eating deeply into profit and making it increasingly difficult to sustain their livelihoods. Dr. Emmanuel Olowu, who is an environmental analyst, offered expert insight on how several factors continue to influence the retail price of petrol in Nigeria.
Of course, possibility of change, which may be up and down, because this factor that we have noticed and we have identified as a country and as operators, we have not been able to standardize and establish them to the extent that we can say now we can produce locally. If we are going to continually be getting this product outside, some factors are not in our control, and there's nothing we can do about it. And of course, you know that there are issues of flaws and failures, and will I call it administrative inconsistencies and foul plays along the line, and things not being true. As long as we have those kind of things, corruptions, let me call it that. As long as there's corruption in the system, we will continue to have this price change up and down, and that's, for me, is not the best we want to see as a country. It's not the best we want to see as citizens of this country. The government and the people, in fact, the people of this country demand and deserve to be to have a good life. And of course, the petroleum product plays a lot of role in moderating what happens.
report states that even though the latest reduction has been welcomed by consumers, many Nigerians believe that the true measure of relief will not be a marginal decrease at the pump price, but fuel prices that are stable, affordable, and capable of easing the alarming cost of living. Still reporting on the high cost of living, the menace continues to take a toll on many Nigerians, with the cost of renting a home increasing significantly across many communities in Rivers State. Residents who spoke with CEMTV said rental prices have doubled or even tripled over the past few years, making it increasingly difficult for many households to afford decent accommodation. Let's hear them.
The rent currently is on the high side as compared to, let's say, a few years ago. The rent I paid 2024/2025 is like, I'm paying like, let's say, 3 times of what I used to pay. Then I was paying 300k, yeah. I was paying 300k, 350k for a 1-bedroom flat. And then currently I'm paying 850k. So, I see the difference. I think it would be better if they can come up with a particular agency or ministry that can look into this particular issue of housing wahala. If they can form a body, I don't know if the landlords or agents, they have a kind of union or something, but I think it's something that has to be trashed collectively. They need to talk to them to maybe bring down, slash their houses. But I don't know how possible that would be, because most of them will tell you, you weren't there when I put up this structure, I know how much it cost me and all of that. So I don't know. But if the government can come up with a kind of body, a committee that can look into it, then I think there should be positive.
Tenants attributed a sharp increase to the rising cost of living, while others accuse property agents of arbitrarily inflating rental prices.
House rent in Port Harcourt is so high. It has not been easy at all for us to pay rent. Even when there is no market, at the end of the day you pay your rent. It's very, very high. If government should do something about it, we'll be very happy. We are really, so many people are going down because of house rent. House rent and shop rent is something else in Port Harcourt. As in 2-3 years ago, house rent was like 100,000, some is 80,000. The same shop is 300,000. Wow. 300,000 a year now. It's the government to, inflation. Yes, it's the government. I believe it's the government, because everything have gone high. Even cement, they say things to use to build house is very high now. So that is why they increase the house rent. It's not only just the government. They have to reduce things, cost of things.
Others express concern that the continued rise in rent could force many families to relocate to remote or rural areas or struggle to meet their financial obligation. The residents called for measures to address the rising cost of housing, saying access to affordable accommodation remains a major challenge amid the country's current economic realities.
Well, this year they increased it to, because it's self-contained, to 500. But as for last year, it was 300 to 50.
300 to
yes. The things are very, very difficult. We are still managing, looking upon God in order for things to end, to change. That's what we are praying for. Anything that government know they can do, let them help us, we the poor, because everywhere is tight for us. Those that have children like us, we are managing.
As the cost of living continues to rise, many Nigerians say access to affordable housing remains a growing concern, with calls for practical measures to ease the burden on tenants.
2024, I pay here 12,000 per month. But last year, landlord, they increased it to 30,000. This small place.
Wow.
So where are we going? It's too big, it's too much.
So that's like 360.
Yes, it's too much for us. Government should help us. Government to put mouth for this matter. It's agents they are cause it. Yes.
Okay, how do you think they cause it?
Because when sometimes now this place come out, the agent will move to landlord. So person collect so amount. You are still collecting this. Landlord will say, hey, thank you. So that they will increase their agent fee 20%. So it's agent they are cause it. It's not landlord, them is agents. The agent that is army born, and then they go. They tell landlord, so person collect this, so person collect this. Is agent they are cause. So government should put mouth for this matter. because we are dying. It's not everybody that can afford 30,000. What are we selling? What are we selling here? Everything costs in the market. When you bring it, you cannot from there feed.
On the national scene, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, (SERAP), has called on the leadership of the National Assembly to investigate the alleged diversion, misapplication or disappearance of over 6.3 billion naira meant for constituency projects. The organization said the allegations, if verified, represents a serious breach of public trust and could undermine efforts to deliver essential development projects to communities across the country. SERAP urged lawmakers to ensure a thorough, transparent and independent investigation, while those found responsible should be prosecuted and any misappropriated funds recovered in accordance with the law. The group maintained that promoting accountability and transparency in the management of public resources remains critical to improving governance and restoring public confidence in Nigeria's democratic institutions. Still on the national scene, a suspected terrorist leader, Kachali Maha, has claimed in a viral audio recording that some Nigerian security personnel and informants secretly provided him with information about planned military operations, including movements against his camp. In the conversation with a government-linked official, Maha threatened to intensify attacks on communities in Katsina State unless his arrested associates and seized cattle were released. He also accused security forces of harassing civilians, destroying homes, and confiscating properties and carrying out unjust actions against local communities. The government officials repeatedly urged Maha to embrace peace and stop the violence, warning that the killings could be worsened. However, Maha insisted he would continue attacks unless the demands were met. While the official denied claims that the Katsina State government was responsible for the arrest of his associates or the seizure of his cattle, Maha insisted that authorities were secretly encouraging attacks, an allegation to which the official denied. To African news, where the European Union has announced new visa restrictions for Somali nationals following a disagreement with Somalia over the return of irregular migrants who have been ordered to leave Europe. Under the new measures, Somalis will no longer qualify for multi-entry Schengen visas, while the process time for application will increase to 45 days. Holders of diplomatic passports will also lose certain visa fee exemptions and simplified application procedures. The European Union said the decision was taken because of what it described as Somalia's insufficient cooperation in accepting the return of its deported nationals. However, Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud rejected the criticism, insisting his government is willing to accept all genuine Somali citizens, but claimed some asylum seekers are from other countries and falsely identified as Somalis. The EU said the restrictions could be reviewed if cooperation improves, noting that similar measures previously imposed on Ethiopia and Gambia were later lifted after both countries strengthened their redemption process. Meanwhile, on the foreign scene, more than 101 million people across Europe are expected to experience temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius on Thursday as severe heat wave sweeps across the continent, according to AFP analysis of weather forecast. France is forecast to be the hardest hit, with about 50 million people facing extreme heat, while Germany is expected to see around 18 million residents exposed to temperatures above 35 degrees. Italy, Spain, Britain, and several other European countries are also experiencing soaring temperatures. Overall, more than 380 million people, nearly two-thirds of Europe's population, excluding Turkey, are expected to see daytime temperatures exceeding 30 degrees Celsius. Authorities have issued heat alerts, urging people to stay hydrated limit outdoor activities, and protect vulnerable groups, including the elderly and children. Scientists say climate changes is making heat waves more frequently, longer lasting, and more intense, raising concerns over public health, wildfires, agriculture, and strain on energy supplies across the region. And when the news continues, included on the news are these headlines. Center for Communication and Social Impact Group steps up efforts to reduce maternal and newborn deaths in Kaduna. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission approves 48 more digital lending companies. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
In health, Center for Communication and Social Impact, CCSI, through its Faith and Cultural Champions FCC project, has stepped up efforts to reduce maternal and newborn deaths in Kaduna by reducing communities on childbirth spacing and maternal health care. The program, which was implemented with the Kaira Foundation, targets young couples, mothers-in-laws, husbands, and traditional and religious leaders during a sensitization campaign in Kaduna in Karatudu community. The foundation's chairperson, Mariam Sani, said proper birth spacing and regular hospital visits could help prevent pregnancy-related complications and improve the health of mothers and their babies. Community leaders welcomed the initiative, saying that it has increased awareness of family planning and maternal health. Participants also called on donors and development partners to provide free childbirth spacing commodities to improve access to productive health services and support healthcare families. We move on to business, where the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has approved 48 more digital lending companies, increasing the number of fully licensed loan app operators in Nigeria to a total of 505. The newly approved companies were previously operating under conditional approval but have now met all regulatory requirements and are expected to follow ethical debt recovery practices and stop the harassment, intimidation, and public shaming of borrowers. The Commission also granted registration waivers to 32 digital lenders that are already licensed and supervised by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Although 505 companies now have full approval, the number of loan apps under FCCPC oversight is over 1,000 because many companies operate multiple lending platforms. The Commission said 112 loan apps are currently under investigation, while 54 have been removed from the Google Play Store for violating consumer protection rules. Following the development, industry experts raised the stricter regulations but warned that monitoring over 500 licensed companies and many illegal operators would be a major challenge. However, the president of the Money Lenders Association, MLA, Baby Adelika, expressed confidence that the FCCPC has the capacity to effectively regulate the sector. Still reporting business, with just 1 month to the July 31st recapitalization deadline set by the National Insurance Commission, only 25 of Nigeria's 58 insurance companies have applied for capital verification, raising concerns about the industry's readiness. The recapitalization exercise is designed to strengthen the financial capacity of insurance companies, improve their ability to settle claims, and enhance public confidence in the sector. Industry stakeholders have warned that companies unable to meet the new capital requirements may be forced to pursue merger, acquisitions, or other restructuring options to remain in business. NICOM has reaffirmed its commitment to the July 31st, 2026 deadline, stating that the recapitalization policy is aimed at building a more resilient, competitive, and globally relevant insurance industry in Nigeria. And in sports, South Korea head coach Hong Myung-bo has resigned following the country's elimination from the FIFA World Cup, bringing to end its tenure after the team failed to progress beyond the knockout stage. The former defender announced his decision after taking responsibility for the team's performance, saying it was time for a new direction as South Korea prepares for future international competitions. Meanwhile, African football has reached a historic milestone with a record number of African nations advancing to the World Cup knockout stage, highlighting the continent's growing competitiveness on the global stage. Football analysts say the success of African teams reflects improved player development, stronger domestic structures, and the increasing impact of African talents competing on the top European league. And on entertainment news, days after the public appeal for financial assistance by the family of Nollywood comic actor John Okafor, also known as Mr. Ibu, the children of the late actor appeared on skit maker Kata Efe's live stream, which sparked mixed reactions on social media, where they were seen dancing and entertaining viewers. Their parents came Their parents came shortly after their mother, Stella Maris Okafor, revealed she was struggling to pay house rent, electricity bills, and her children's school fees. Following the appeal, Nigerians donated about 7.5 million naira to support the family, while many praised Katafe and social media influencer King Michi for bringing joy to the children. Others accused them of using the late actor's children for content and publicity. And with that report, we conclude CEMTV News on the Hour. Thanks for listening. But before we go, a recap of some of the headlines. CEMTV team reports on how high cost of housing takes a toll on residents across many communities in Rivers State. Sarab has demanded for probe into alleged 6.3 billion naira constituency project fund diversion. Europe has braced up for dangerous heat waves as millions face extreme temperatures. Center for Communication and Social Impact Group has stepped up efforts to reduce maternal and newborn deaths in Kaduna. Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has approved 48 more digital lending companies. You have been watching CEMTV News on the Hour. You can follow us, like our page and subscribe on CEMTVPLUS across X, Facebook, and Thread and Instagram. You can watch live on YouTube, CEMTVPLUS. Remember, truth first, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered. I'm Miabaka Iyenengi. Thanks for watching. Do have a splendid night rest.